Welcome to Mary Walter Radio, the podcast. Happy Tuesday. So glad to see everybody here. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we get to our guest, who, by the way, this is the most requested guest. People are like, when are you having her back on? When are you having her back on? And so I'm super happy that we have Ms. Lauren Conlin back on. So we'll get to her just real quick. But just so you know, tomorrow I'm in for Wendy Bell on the Wendy Bell Radio Show, and you can catch that on YouTube. It's on Rumble. It's nationally syndicated across the country, so you can find it locally near you. And that's on 9 a.m. to noon. So I'm doing that tomorrow. Now I'm not doing it Wednesday, Thursday because I'm getting ready to go away on Saturday. So I will not be doing it Wednesday and Thursday. And then no podcast for 2 weeks because I will be gone. So yeah, I know. I don't know what to do, but you can always go back, catch up on some older podcasts. There's over, I think, like 2 years worth of podcasts. So there's got to be someone that you haven't seen that you want to you want to check out. There's some really great podcasts, some really, really great guests, including this woman here,
Hi.
Lauren Conlin. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Sorry, I wasn't ready. I was looking at my phone, then I was like, boom.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. Please. This is so casual. We're totally casual here. Half my guests, if they're
Love
not on the
it.
East Coast, if they're not on East Coast time, they miss the time, they're late, they're just all over the place. So it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it at all. Can you make your microphone
All
just a little
good.
bit louder? Is that
My
possible?
microphone?
A
Yeah. Yeah.
little
Let me
lighter,
see.
louder if you can. I supposedly can do that somehow here, but I don't know how. Let me
I don't
see.
know. I mean,
I
I
got
I
it. Oh,
pulled
hold
it.
on.
Yeah, I pulled
I
it
got you. I
closer to
got you.
me.
I got you.
Is that better?
Okay. Look at that. Like I didn't realize I could do that. It's so exciting. They've updated the program. I have so much more control now.
Okay, great. No, it's better. It sounds better.
I think it is. I think I also just have my headset down really low because I'm trying not to be
Okay.
deaf by the time, I retire. I don't want to be deaf like everyone else in radio. So that could be part of the problem as
That's
well.
so
Um,
funny.
I want to give a big shout out to the Wendy Bell Radio Army. You guys have been amazing. They've been jumping in on X. I mean, excuse me, on Rumble. And so many of you have been doing it, and I really, really, really appreciate you. So thank you so much. And let's see who's here. Lauren Conlin's here. A Pop
Yeah.
Crime TV with Lauren Conlin
Yes.
is Conlin has also weighed in. Rebecca is here. Watching Your Back is here. Yitzhak is here. Suze is here. Scott's here. Let's see. Oh, wow. I already got questions for you. I'm so glad we were
Oh,
able to get you back on. So people already have questions for you. And I just want to
so
let everyone
fun.
know that where they can find you, you can get her it's the Pop Crime TV podcast on YouTube is where they can find you, right?
Yeah, that's my channel on YouTube. I commented on the chat so everybody can find me there. And I do have an audio podcast. It's called The Outlier, but a lot of it is content from the YouTube channel. So
Right.
yeah, it's all the same. You just get to see more on YouTube. And then my website, popcrime.tv, there's some articles and other fun stuff, or not that fun. I guess a lot of it's criminal, but some of it's fun.
Well, I want to make sure I put all of this in the description because I did have the Outlier TV on the ad block that I had made
Yeah,
for
that's
you. And I was
fine.
like, the Outlier podcast. I'm like, oh, I wonder if she's not doing that anymore because she
No,
said
no,
promo,
it's all good.
the
I do.
Pop Crime TV.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, no, I want to listen, I want to drive as many
Thank
people
you.
to you as I possibly
Thank
can.
you. Thank you so
And
much.
absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time coming on here. And a big thank you also to EB who makes those wonderful ad blocks for me, who every now and then pops in here, and his amazing son, Zach, who is our number one fan. So thank you so much to Zach. So, all right, why don't we just start off right away? Because you sent me a bunch of
Yeah.
things to talk about. But Yitzhak says, remember when Lydia called out Cuomo for manslaughter too from my
Yeah,
post? Hi.
I think that was back during the WABC days, and yeah, love Lydia. And everybody was very interactive there during that time. All the show hosts used to really read the Twitter comments, the Facebook comments. It was really fun. So good
Yitzhak is
times.
giving me a hard time for flying on Shabbos, but I leave Friday and land in Israel Saturday morning. So
Hmm.
And from what I understand, oh, it's sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, right? So, well, the Catholic girl can
Mhm.
do that. And that's when the flight lands. So there's not much I can do about it. And that's when I was told to arrive. F Nylon is over on, or F Nylon is over on Rumble. Thank you so much. Hermit Sal's here. Manglemush is here. Sugar Valley Caroline's here. Yay! She watched Wendy Bell this morning. Now Tax USA made it. Gregory, oh, let's kick it off. Starts at
Mhm.
sundown. All right, Yitzhak. All right, let's kick it off. This is a topic that you brought to the table that I think has kind of dropped out of the news, and that is the what's happening with Diddy. Gregory says that Diddy trial was relentless. What was your schedule like? You seemed ever present.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess you're not being served the same news that I am because this has not dropped out of the news.
Yes.
I mean, it's actually been pretty crazy. His team filed another motion for him to be granted bail ahead of sentencing, and he was just denied yesterday by the judge. And then CNN, I have not retweeted this. I have not reposted anything about this because it's CNN that's reporting it. But CNN reported that officially Diddy has asked or filed, paperwork for an official pardon from Donald Trump. So, but just to go back to Gregory, I was there every day. I think I only missed 2 days. I was freelancing for two different companies, and then I was obviously monetizing on my own channel. And that's why, Mary, we were kind of going back and forth, and I was so fried. I mean, you can't have your phones in federal court, so I was note taking all day. My hand was like a claw by the end of it. But yeah, it was so crazy, and I'm definitely glad that it's over.
It's funny. I guess I just haven't really been paying attention to the
Yeah.
whole entire thing. It just seems so sordid. The whole thing just seems so disgusting. I don't know. I guess I just really didn't get into it. And this is coming
Yeah.
from someone who's like into the Real Housewives. So, but the Diddy thing
Yeah.
was just kind of gross. So, I didn't pay a lot of
Yeah.
attention. Why would he think he would get a pardon? Didn't he have something like 40,000 gallons of baby oil? I like, ew, ew, ew.
Well, I think
Why?
that if you know you it's it's tough because I think going into this trial we thought it was going to be a lot different than what we saw. We thought there was going to
Mhm.
be drugs in the baby. You know what? Sorry. This AirPod is driving me insane. Whatever. Sorry if I keep messing with it. I'm just trying to get it in my ear. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay.
But no, we thought there was going to be drugs in the baby oil. We thought there was going to be minors. We thought there was going to
Yeah.
be this homoerotic, just very just we thought it was going to be a lot different than it was. And honestly, I'm not saying Diddy is a good guy. I'm not trying to help the guy out, but in my opinion, this trial it was an overreach by the government. It was not a racketeering trial. I think that the sex trafficking, I think that because he was in relationships with these women and we saw certain pieces of evidence with emails and text messages, and I understand how coercive control works. So I don't want anyone to at me for any of this, but clearly the jury saw these messages and saw these women where it seemed like they wanted to participate and they seemed like they were kind of getting things in return, whether that be their rent paid for, even sitting in
Mm.
court. Jane Doe's lawyer was paid for. So it was weird. And so I guess the point here is he was acquitted on sex trafficking and racketeering, the most serious charges. So you don't see a lot of men or I guess women in prison or jail, excuse me, just because they were convicted on violating the Mann Act or a prostitution charge. It's super rare. You really don't see that. So I think that Diddy's
Okay.
team, yeah, kept going for this. And honestly, when he was acquitted on those charges and they announced the verdict, they had asked immediately. The judge or the lawyers were like, can he get out? I mean, this is, he was acquitted on the most serious things, blah blah blah. I thought for a second the judge was going to let him out because he was laughing and joking with him, and I was like, could Diddy really be home by the 4th of July? This is insane. And then the judge said no because of the defense's own admission, saying, my client or our client is a dangerous man. They said that a lot. No, I'm sorry, they didn't say dangerous man. Excuse me. They said he has had an issue with domestic violence. He was violent with these women. He's getting help. He was addicted to drugs. So they admitted this stuff in order to acquit him on the more serious charges. However, kind of, yeah, didn't really help when it came to bail.
So what was he convicted of? Prostitution? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so it's violating the Mann Act, which, the Mann Act is it's actually it's a little hazy, I think, because of and because of Diddy's situation. So basically, it was he transported sex workers across state lines for prostitution. Now, normally,
Okay.
when you violate the Mann Act, you are actually making money off of these prostitutes. And in Diddy's case, these prostitutes or they by the way weren't even they did not even admit they were prostitutes. They all called themselves entertainers on the stand. They had other jobs. They were joining Diddy and a significant other, a female, and Diddy wasn't even touching them. So it was the women that were doing the acts with him. And I'm not saying that, I'm not blaming them or anything. I'm just saying the facts here. But that's why it's so interesting. So he didn't make any money off of this. And generally, violating the Mann Act can involve minors, which is way more serious. You get way more time, but none
Right.
of that applies here. So it's strange, you
Ah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess he feels that, since Donald Trump understands what it's like to be the only person charged with a certain crime and the only person to ever be convicted of that crime, that maybe he could have a sympathetic ear. And if I remember correctly, wasn't one Hunter Biden accused of transporting prostitutes across state lines?
Yeah, he definitely was. I believe you are correct, but I think the issue is like Diddy, he talked so much crap about Trump. I don't, Trump even addressed it the other night with Rob Finnerty. Rob Finnerty directly asked him, "Would you consider a pardon?" And he's like, I don't remember him really, saying anything. I'm paraphrasing, but saying anything
Right.
nice about me or helping me out. It was the opposite. So he didn't say no, but he kind of said, I'm leaning towards a no.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. You're right. The case fell apart. I think it was me, and maybe honestly don't know why I didn't pay an ounce of attention to it. I have no idea. I just
Yeah,
have so
don't
many
worry.
balls in the air at all times that I guess something's got to go. You know what I mean? Like I
I
just
I
can't put another
understand
ball in the air.
why would you, Mary? Why would you? I mean, I really don't know why anyone really and plus it's not like it was televised. It was like it was tough. It was a tough, yeah, a tough trial to
Yeah.
follow if you weren't inside the courtroom.
Let's see. Yitzhak dating himself, saying playing with your ear bud reminded him of Carol Burnett. I don't know if you remember that
Uh,
Carol Burnett would tug on her ear to
I
say
love
hello
her,
to
but I don't.
somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If you've never seen it, you should go back and watch the old Carol Burnett show. Hilarious. Hermit Sal says Lauren works incredibly hard to provide us with accurate, up-to-date court info. Sal is one of your
Wow.
biggest fans, by the
He
way. Just
is.
so you
He's so
know.
nice.
Yes.
I know. I love Sal. He's so nice.
Yitzhak wants to know, when a crime comes up or several at the same time, do you get to choose what you report on?
Yeah, I mean, for right in this very moment, yes, I do. When a trial starts, I do try to get a freelance gig to cover it for someone other than myself. But
Right.
yeah, so I think the next trial is Luigi Mangione.
Oh,
I think that's the next really really big one. So hopefully I'll get a couple jobs from that. We'll see, but it's going to be really daunting. I mean, these high profile trials, you really have to get there, and this is why Diddy was so exhausting. To get a seat in the courtroom, I had to be there at 6 a.m. every day. I'm leaving my house at 5:30, and it's a long day. I don't know, I'm like, is it worth it? Is it not? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. you
I
know.
would think it was probably easier to get in than you expected because it was not as explosive as everyone thought it was going to be. So I think probably interest waned in those tickets and sitting in that courtroom because it was not what the big bombshells that everybody thought it was going to be. I got to tell you, with all of the depositions coming up, Hillary Clinton, October 9th, Bill Clinton, October
Mm,
14th, Merrick Garland. I could see where people want to go to those. Like that to me is
yeah.
far more interesting. Hillary Clinton in a deposition. I want to say this. What difference does it make anyway? Granted, there's no
Yeah.
baby oil, but I still think that those could
No,
be
this is
wildly,
juice. This is
wildly interesting.
juicier, but I don't think you can attend depositions.
No, I don't think you
As
can,
yeah, as
but
a member of the
I
public. But yeah, but listen, we all want to know the details. Absolutely.
yeah, it would be great if they would they should really put these on TV because I would get nothing done. Let's
Tell me about it.
Yitzhak wants to know why wasn't Diddy charged with assault in a state court when that video of him going after his girlfriend and dragging her back to the room?
Yeah, the statute of limitations was up for that. That happened back in 2016. That video didn't surface until 2024. So I think the statute for aggravated assault in California is maybe 6 years, or maybe 8 years or something like that. No, it was 6 years. I'm sorry. So no, he could not be charged for that. And that's sort of that was the defense's main point here. Like he is guilty of domestic violence. He is guilty of aggravated assault. And I think that, yeah, if he did get charged with that back in 2016, I don't think we would be here, or he wouldn't be in this situation because he probably would have been convicted at the state level because that's what this case was. It was a state case. It was an assault case, in my opinion. But again, I see how one could define sex trafficking as what was happening. I personally didn't quite see it that way for Jane Doe. I think Cassie is different. I do have a soft spot for Cassie. I felt like he groomed her, whatever, but they were in a relationship. So yeah, but that's why he was not charged with
Okay.
assault.
Over on Rumble, we've got John F. Nylon, Sugar Valley Carolyn, AZ Oldsman. Let's all give Mary a Rumble. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the thumbs up. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up to the podcast. Please like, please subscribe. I don't make any money off of it, but it's really nice if you did that for me. Now Tax USA said, is it just another rich group of misbehaved adults with baby oil, sex sedative off the hook? Or he had too much info on the rich and famous where the charges were even suspect. Do you think that's why Diddy went down? He had too much info on the rich and famous.
No, I mean, that's the other thing. I think people thought we were going to hear all this, information about different celebrities and whatnot, and that wasn't the case. I mean, and also it's funny, they all wanted to go to Diddy parties. You see all these celebrities at the parties with Diddy, but not one person except for Kanye West showed up to support him in court. Everybody really distanced themselves from him. He did have one friend, Charlucci Finney, that was there every single day, his kid's godfather. But I mean, I think that Diddy he is an example of a guy who really, he is a sex addict, he is a drug addict, or he was. I can't speak to if he is anymore. But I mean, I think it's also really interesting to note that the average person could commit I think it was like 3 federal crimes a day or something like that. So under the Racketeering Act, drug distribution is as simple as passing somebody a joint or passing somebody, a pill. They said he violated the Interstate Commerce Act, which basically was bringing baby oil that was manufactured in New Jersey over to California. I mean, these are actual literal federal crimes. So yeah, I think that they saw this video, they saw Cassie's lawsuit, they saw Lil Rod Jones's civil suit as well, and they started building their case. Or Damian Williams, the former U.S. attorney, built that case, and then Maureen Comey took it over. And I always kind of offered her a little bit of grace. I just kept saying, she got this case just dumped on her lap. It's not really her fault that it was kind of such a failure. And then I spoke to someone that was involved directly in the case, and they said, oh no, it actually is her fault because she had full control over. Once that case was in her lap, she could have said, no, let's dismiss these charges, let's do that, let's do this differently. But she didn't. She kind of doubled down. And actually, you could say she was smarter because she added the Mann Act charges pretty much a month or two right before the trial started. Initially, it was just 2 counts of sex trafficking and 1 count of racketeering. So, I mean, yeah, it's just the whole thing. No celebrities, just a total mess, total overcharging, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that the government gets in trouble with that a lot, with overcharging, unless it's Trump, and then it's never enough. Um,
Yeah, and SDNY has a 95% conviction rate too. So it's
of
really high.
course they
Yeah.
do.
I know.
Of
It's
course they
crazy.
do, because it's New York.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. shockingly has a very high conviction rate too,
Mm,
shockingly.
mm.
Sal says, how lucky are we to have Mary and Lauren doing a live cast together tonight? Both ladies always give us great live casts. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's give Mary a rumble. Thank you so much. It's why no attention to Diddy because the Red Green Alliance is more important and manslaughter too for Cuomo. I don't know what the
Yeah.
Red Green Alliance thing is. Cuomo, I guess he's referring to COVID
Yes.
manslaughter too. I think that's right. Um, he also said Yitzhak had said something about Governor Spitzer and
Oh
the
yeah.
prostitution with the
That's
Mann
right.
Act.
Yeah,
So
I do remember that vaguely.
So, fun fact, I was working in the city a lot back then. I was over at Fox News, working in the city a lot. And I had a friend who had a spending account, right? And so because he was in the city all the time, so he could get rooms on his, his
Yeah.
office thing. So one night it was really late and I didn't want, and I had to go back and he goes, I'll get you a room. So he gets me a room, right? Which is great. And so I'm walking back to Penn Station the next morning. And I walked right by Elliot Spitzer, and this was the day that they were announcing the charges, and I didn't know it. And he was coming out of Penn Station, so he had been on the Amtrak. Remember, that was
Oh
like the
my
whole thing.
goodness. Yeah,
He's coming out of
yes.
Penn Station, right? And then that afternoon, I'm like,
Oh,
oh my gosh.
you put it together. You were like, "Oh my god."
And he's little. He's little. He's
Yeah,
little.
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, I haven't thought about that guy in a long time. Jeez.
I know. Me
We
either.
got a lot of winners
Um,
here in New York.
Yeah, Suze wants to know why would he deserve a pardon? And strange it would be brought up. Well, of course he brings it up. He wants a pardon, so of course he's going to try anything he can. But he can appeal this, can he?
Yeah, I mean, his team already filed a motion for number one, a new trial based on the Mann Act convictions, and then number two, he actually wants the judge to overturn those convictions, which he won't. But I mean, he thinks he deserves a pardon because his case they're calling it exceptional circumstances, basically, and it's different. It is different, but I think that they just think he was wrongly prosecuted, he was targeted, and that, like you had said, Trump could sort of feel for him in that way.
Yeah. Let's see. Mangione, nice gig. Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Mm.
That trial is obviously being held in New York, correct?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a state case and a federal case. So there's two different dockets here, and Pam Bondi had announced that she is seeking the death penalty. And I think I don't know. I think Bondi was trying to show that she had some big balls or something, because I'm kind of like, really? You want to seek death for? I mean, listen, I'm not one to say, oh, I'm for the death penalty unless it's a crime against a child, really, or it just depends. But in this case, I'm kind of just like, I didn't really see the point of death, but okay. But it's going to be interesting because, and I'm kind of worried here about jury nullification, because New Yorkers are so insane and people
Mm,
actually support this guy. uh, I mean, it's kind of like, really? So we could actually have a jury who is like, well, he did it, but we're going to acquit him anyway, which is nullification based on, yeah. So I'm nervous.
OJ part two.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's see. Hermit wants to know, has the court or prosecutor ever asked for your notes for whatever reason? And has a judge ever ordered no note taking?
I mean, no, they've never asked for my notes. And listen, their transcripts come out pretty much daily. Um, So you can get the transcripts if you're obviously a prosecutor or on the defense team. And even if you're a member of the public, you can pay for it. And no, if the judge, if there's something that they don't want you to hear, they go into the roving room or they kick everybody out.
Okay. I haven't spent a lot of time inside a courtroom, so thank you. Very
Yeah, of
glad. Very
course.
glad. I have
Of
not
course.
spent a lot of time
Yeah,
inside
right.
of a courtroom. Yitzhak has a question. He said, oh, wait, no, here, Sal. Doesn't the statute of limitations take effect the moment a crime has been discovered, no matter when it took place? So if you didn't know the crime happened and you don't find out till after the statute of limitations expires, does the person who committed that crime, they're just off scot-free because nobody figured it out for 5 years, 10 years, whatever it happens to be?
Murder doesn't have a statute of limitations. So if somebody finds out that you murdered someone 20 years ago, you can still be prosecuted. But I mean, yeah, anything else generally has a statute of limitations. I think, obviously state by state when it comes to sexual assault and I'll say grape just for your algorithm's sake. I think that, that they've sort of extended the statute there, but yeah, pretty much murder is the only crime that can be prosecuted forever.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a lawyer also.
Right.
I'm fairly certain about this stuff, but just in case I misspeak, which I don't think I have, but just in case.
Yeah. Sue says, I think only when conspiracy is the crime, but I don't know for sure. Angel over on Rumble wants to know, did you nap after filling in for Wendy? No, I did not. I have so much on my plate between now and Saturday. It's insane. And I still have to show prep for the show tomorrow, which I'm going to start when I get off the air here. And then I have some things to do. So I'll probably, last night I got to bed at 11, got up at 5. Tomorrow I'm getting up at like around 4:30. So it's
Brutal. Gosh.
yeah. But again, I'm not doing Wendy Bell's show on Thursday and Fridays, that I can maybe start to get to bed a little bit earlier to try to swing my clock that way, because I'm going 7 time zones away. So
Wow.
when you kind of head, you realize, oh, like when I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's 1 o'clock there.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the afternoon. So you're like, oh God, in 4 days, I have to be able to like function, when I get there. So anyway, so no, I've lived my life sleep deprived perpetually. Yitzhak, giving that Comey has a traitor for a dad who threw a case against Hillary, meaning the Maureen, is that her name?
Yeah.
Think Comey Jr. threw this one too for some conspiracy?
No, definitely not. I don't think so at all. I thought she did a phenomenal job, Maureen Comey, and she has so much passion here. And, her husband still works for the Southern District of New York. So I don't think that, her firing really had anything to do with the sins of her father, because, I think they would have canned her husband as well. I do think it was based on performance. I think that this was a big case for the SDNY. And again, I think that she did blow it, so to speak. But when I say that she did a phenomenal job, I mean inside the courtroom. I mean her questioning, her redirect, the closing redirect was so fierce. You could tell she was just very passionate about this. But yeah, again, I just still have so many questions about, why they called specific witnesses, why they didn't call certain witnesses, and their case, in my opinion, could have been better if they called certain people. But yeah, Comey did the very best she could.
Okay. All right. I give her that. Let's see. It's the act from which any statute runs. The Operation Hillary Crossfire Hurricane will be based on hiding facts, and the statute that will run from that discovery. And the statute will run from the discovery there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hermit Sal says, in New York City, since so many people depend on free stuff and are dependent on insurance companies covering all costs, I think that many on the jury would rule innocent for Mangione. And then he doesn't finish what he was going to say there. Rule innocent because
that's my fear. That's my fear. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's a shame that he allegedly felt like he had to take a life. Brian Thompson was a husband. He was a father. It really is a shame. And Luigi Mangione threw his own life away. I mean, right? Like he valedictorian, had just so much ahead of him. And, he can't, in my opinion, he can't use an insanity defense because in this alleged manifesto, he wrote things like, oh, I was thinking about using a bomb, but then too many innocent people would die. Well, that shows that you have some kind of a reasonable state of mind here, which an
Right.
insane person wouldn't really care.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'd wanna move on because you also said the crypto kidnapping case. I don't know anything about that. What is the crypto
Oh,
kidnapping case?
that one is so crazy. I just attended a couple hearings for these two guys. So one of them, John Waltz, he calls himself the Crypto King of Kentucky. And
Okay.
he was renting a $30,000 a month townhouse in New York City, 38 Prince Street, with his friend, William Duplessis. And so this is back in, I think it was May. One morning, this Italian guy just comes running out of the townhouse, finds the nearest traffic cop. He's bloody, and he says, I've been held against my will for a couple of weeks in this townhouse, being tortured, essentially kidnapped, all for my Bitcoin password. So these two guys get arrested. They get charged with, kidnapping, unlawful possession of a weapon, torture. It's crazy. So, in this case, attending the hearings and listening to the defense, it's not as kind of open and shut because the defense is like, wait a second, this is just 17 days of debauchery. Like this guy was here willingly. He wanted to be part of this party lifestyle. But the prosecution presented the judge with Polaroids that these guys took of allegedly torturing this man. And they had said, it's all part of a hazing process. But they had cattle prods. Apparently, they had like a running chainsaw. They allegedly urinated on him. They dangled him over a balcony. But the last
Oh,
hearing, the last bail hearing, the judge is looking at these pictures and he's like, you said they used a running chainsaw on this guy? And the prosecutors are like, yes. And he's looking and he's like, did he even get one stitch? Like he was not buying it at all. And he actually released them on $1 million bail package. Yeah. Ankle monitors, 72-hour secure. Yeah, it's crazy. So prosecutors also said when they raided John Waltz's Kentucky home, they found like a manifesto of some kind, which kind of said like him and his buddies wanted to take crypto from evil people so they wouldn't become terrorists. It was just so crazy and wild.
so, all right,
So
so this guy who comes running out, supposedly they were torturing him to get his Bitcoin password.
yes,
So a lot of questions like how did they even know he had Bitcoin? How did they know he had Bitcoin like that was even worth getting the
they were
password for?
friendly.
Because
Yeah.
like when you look at Bitcoin, right? Because we always joke around about it, it's you can buy like 0.00046 like of a Bitcoin for like
Yeah.
$10,000. Like
Yeah, I know, I know. I mean, they were
so
friendly with this guy. They knew him. He had previously come to New York to visit him, or maybe John, or I don't even know. But this was the second time they had this meeting, and he was staying with them because he wanted to party. There was a lot of drugs found there. But part of the defense or their defense is like, no, we went out. And there's surveillance footage of them at an eyeglass store, just hanging out, buying glasses. He's outside. They're just saying he could have come and gone as he pleased. They have photographs of him partying, kind of being walked around by like a dog collar by like a very beautiful woman that was probably topless or something. Yeah, it's weird. It's super weird. So I don't know what to believe at this point. It's one of those cases, that I'm just like, huh? But who knows? Who knows? We'll see. I think the next hearing is October. So
that's crazy. See, now this one I can get behind.
yeah.
Wow, unanswered questions. Why would you go running out to the cops, bloodied, everything else, if you were just like on a bender? Like and come up with this wild story if you were just on a bender. That doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't end well for anyone.
Well, I mean, since drugs were involved, he could have been paranoid. Who know? I mean, who knows? I
Oh,
don't know. I find this case very interesting because going into it, I'm
yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm like, these guys are insane. And then I heard the defense and I was like, oh, this is also interesting. I need more information. So
This
yeah,
is
who knows?
Yitzhak wants to know, are you writing the film script already for this one?
No, I'm definitely not writing the film script for this. Not
Okay.
yet anyway. Not yet.
Sal says he's waiting for the Broadway show about the crypto kidnapping. Gregory asked a good question here. He said, do you get nightmares after covering all of this insane mayhem?
I don't really there unless it involves children, it doesn't normally bother me. There was one case out of that I covered out of Kansas and Oklahoma. Actually, it was this past winter. I had to attend a pretrial hearing for a company that I was working for, and that gave me nightmares. This was and the case hasn't even gone to trial officially, but it was 5 defendants who called themselves God's misfits. Okay. They looked like something
It-
out of a Rob Zombie movie. Like they were disgusting farmer hick ass humans. I'm sorry. I'll say that about them because of what they allegedly did, but it's not even allegedly because the one guy was on the stand trying to get a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. So basically he explained what they did to these 2 innocent mothers um, during a custody exchange on behalf of these children. Their grandma was involved, and she did not like her daughter-in-law, so to speak. And this daughter-in-law brought a friend with her for this pickup.
right.
Yeah, and I definitely got nightmares from what he said on the stand. And like, as press, you're just supposed to sit there and take notes. You're not supposed to react. You're not supposed to do any of that. I was like, my eyes were welling up with tears and I didn't want to be there anymore. And that was so
Wow.
bad because I was in like East Bum F, Kansas, right? By myself at this nasty Best Western, again, alone. This company sent me alone. It's hunting season. So all of these
Of course.
these men are at the Best Western in camo gear, right? I'm alone, and I have to drive to Oklahoma every day for this pretrial hearing. It's 40 minutes away, and this guy's on the stand saying what he did to these moms. And by the way, their families are sitting there as well. These women's families, and I did get nightmares. And I swear this sounds so horrible, and it's probably TMI, but I got like 2 periods that month. My body was not okay. I did not sleep. I was
Oh
like,
no.
what is no, it was the weirdest thing. I'm telling you. I was just like, I'm not okay. So yeah, and again, I can't even imagine being their family or their children. So
Yeah, no, no.
yeah. Sorry,
Are there
TMI.
any New York City mob crimes like Gotti Jr.'s 2 kids of late?
I think the last I heard there was some kind of Staten Island raid of some sort, but I
I
haven't
wanna say,
heard
yeah.
of yeah, I haven't heard of anything lately. I should look into that. I think there was like an ex-mobster running for Congress or city council or something in New Jersey. I don't know if you heard about that. I forget what that was, but yeah.
It would make sense if it was New
I
Jersey. They
think
seem to
it
have all
was.
moved they've all moved here. They've left New York. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
They've all come to New Jersey. Um,
Yeah, something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't say I just did a quick search on Gotti and I got nothing. I got Gotti, I got Sammy the Bull.
Yeah.
Um, Paul Castellano's former home was just listed it last year in November for $18 million
Oh, wow.
up on
Wow.
Toad Hill.
$18
He
million?
was Yeah,
Jeez.
you know what? It hit a nice compound. It was across the street. There was main street, but then there was a side street. And my husband's uncle owned the house on one corner, and Castellano owned the house on the other corner. Right there, they were
Whoa.
neighbors, and he
Wow.
was a great neighbor. No crime in that
Wow.
neighborhood. He's a great neighbor,
That's
but
crazy. Wow.
it really looked like everything you would expect, Staten Italy, throwing up in your house. You
Yeah.
know, it was I looked at some of the pictures when it went up on for sale. I'm like, I gotta see inside this thing. It was white,
Yeah.
white, 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 white. And the big white concrete, wall around it and everything. And it was the gaudiest
Oh yeah, I'm
Horrendous,
sure.
horrendous, horrendous, horrendous. Everything you'd expect. Everything
I'm
you would expect.
sure. I'm sure.
Okay. Let's see. What was another one? Oh, Sydney Sweeney. Of course, we were talking. Sydney
Oh
Sweeney, the pop
yeah,
culture there
yeah,
going on with that. And did you? Since I talked about it this morning on Wendy Bell's show, that they American Eagle got a little bit of bump after when all the memes
yeah.
and everything came out, and then it kind of slacked off. And then Donald Trump yesterday, when the Breitbart reporter asked him, "Hey, did you know she's a registered Republican?" He goes, "Who?" And
Ah,
he knew who Sydney Sweeney was, the
yeah,
actress. He's like,
yeah.
he goes, "She is? I love that ad." And the stock
Ah,
went up 23%.
isn't that amazing? I saw that. I saw that. And my take on that is like I was late to the game on that, so I didn't know. I actually thought I missed something when I watched the ad that people were quote unquote upset about. I thought I watched the wrong one because I was like, "Oh, it can't be this one," because like what who cares about this? And then I was like, "Oh, this is what people are upset about." And that just brings me back to I mean, how privileged are you if you have the time to make a video acting so offended and hurt and upset over that? I think that just shows your privilege right there. So I think that you should just shut up if that, you know what I mean? Like that is just crazy. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. There is so much going on that if you were going to waste breath on that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you need to
Yeah.
take a Xanax, whatever, Lexapro. I don't know, but
You know what it
that
is?
is not,
It
yeah.
their brain Trump broke their brains, and we're
Oh,
not talking politics, but Trump truly broke their brains. And we
hmm,
all know somebody that if you told them that Donald Trump cured cancer, they would have a problem with it.
yeah,
They
I
they
know.
you know, they would have
I
a problem with it.
know. I
And
know.
so they hate, and there are some people who are so broken and so lost that they see racism and this, and oh, they use the word gene. Oh my gosh, and she's blonde hair and blue eyed. It must be Nazis, right? And it's like, okay, but Beyonce did
Yeah,
something very similar where with blonde hair, by the way. And I
I
thought that was
know.
cultural appropriation, right? Like that's what everybody tells me. Braids, oh my God, you can't wear braids. You're a white woman. That's cultural appropriation. Um,
Yeah.
Even though and I like to go, well, Vikings, but okay.
Mm,
But in no world do people from Africa have blonde hair. Like they don't unless they're albino and then it's white. So
yeah.
don't.
I mean,
But
look,
it's the whole thing's stupid.
yeah, it's stupid. And it's like, okay, if one is just jealous of Sydney Sweeney, because look, I'm kind of jealous of Sydney Sweeney. She's young, she's beautiful, she's got a tiny waist, she's got, like I'll give it to her. Like I am jealous of her. So I will say it. I shouldn't say jealous. What's the word? I don't know. I mean, I I'm happy for her. But like these people, it's kind of like if you're jealous of her, just say that. Be like, "Oh, I'm jealous of her jeans, her blonde hair, her, whatever. I mean, she's well endowed. Just say it already because I'll say it, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like it offends me."
No, no, not at all.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I think it was Department of Homeland Security, but I looked on their X account and couldn't find it. So it may have been ICE. It was Border Patrol,
Yeah.
maybe. But they did an ad, and it's them on their horses patrolling the border, and they say we do this
What?
because it's in our genes, right? And there's a guy on a
It's like
horse wearing
stick it
jeans,
to
right?
them. Yeah, stick it to everybody. Stick it to
I love it.
everybody.
But that brings up, you talk about culture, but it's a cultural shift, isn't it? And that cultural shift came because Donald Trump. Notice American
Yeah.
Eagle didn't respond. They didn't apologize. They didn't try to explain it. They didn't kowtow and backpedal and say, "Oh, well, we'll donate money to BLM," or whatever it was. They didn't do any of it.
No. Well,
They
they
stood strong, and that's
they
it.
did explain it. I mean, they did explain it, but they didn't apologize. But it actually was pretty incredible. They actually said, I think it was in Parade that they got the exclusive, but they were like, "Yeah, we talked to Sydney Sweeney, and we said, are you okay if we kind of push the boundaries a little bit? We want to make a splash here." And Sweeney was like, "I'm cool with it." So they did this, and there was nothing about race baiting. None of that did
No.
they have in mind to do this. They just wanted to sort of push the envelope. And so they stood proudly by it, didn't apologize. And I think that's
Yep.
great. You're right. No, like we're
And
gonna
you know
donate
what?
here. And yeah.
It was very reminiscent of it was a total ripoff of the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein ad back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Total ripoff.
Yeah. Oh, I
And
love Brooke
that
Shields.
was on a billboard in Times Square.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yitzhak said Gotti's two kids just did a beatdown on somebody. Yes, it was one of their
Oh,
brother-in-laws, I want to say.
wow. I did
I
not know
want to,
that.
yeah, I want to say
I
it was
gotta
one
look
of their
this up.
brother-in-laws.
Gottie's two
Gotti
kids. Wow.
brothers assault. Let's see if it comes up. Yes, here it is.
Oh, in June.
Gotti's
Wow.
in June, Gotti's grandsons accused of beating up their brother-in-law in a Queens family in Broglio. They've been charged with assault after allegedly beating up their brother-in-law. John Gotti, 31, Frankie, 27, were arrested on Monday, which came
Ooh.
after an alleged Sunday break-in by their relative.
Wow. I gotta look
It's
this up now in criminal
yeah.
court when the next hearing is for that. Frankie
Gino
Gotti, let's
Gabrielli. Gino Gabrielli allegedly broke into a Gotti family home in Howard Beach to steal $3,300. Gabrielli was arrested and charged with burglary, grand larceny, criminal possession of stolen property. The Gotti pair then allegedly confronted their brother-in-law Monday afternoon in front of a home on 84th Street after he was released from custody. He was punched in the face. He refused medical attention. The Gottis were arrested.
Ooh,
Sounds
there's a
about right
hearing
for Staten
on
Island, doesn't it?
there's a hearing on what's today? Oh, on Thursday. Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah,
Thank
Queens
you,
Criminal
Yitzhak.
Court. Maybe I'll go. I'll try to get the paperwork before then. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I just looked it up. Frankie Gotti has a hearing at Queens Criminal Court. Hmm.
Can you believe that at one point in time they had their own reality show with their mom with Victoria?
I
You believe
forgot
that?
about that. I do believe
Right?
that. We live in a very weird world, but yes, I do believe
Yeah,
that.
with Victoria.
Yeah.
Rebecca said Chris Salcedo practically drooled this morning when I called into his radio show and told him that Sydney Sweeney restored that Mustang GT 350 by herself. Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, there were rumors going around that, her family, they were really big Trumpers and I think she had like a Make America Great hat again or something like that last summer and she got a lot of heat for it and she just said, "Oh, I kind of stay out of politics," which, I don't blame her. She's an actress and
Yeah.
I don't blame a lot of them for being like, I want to stay out of this because I would sort of rather that than the actors that take the stage and just, say whatever they
What was
want and bash. Yeah.
at the end when Trump was walking away after that comment about it and said, "Oh, she's a registered Republican." I love that ad. He turned around and said, "Oh, she's a registered Republican." He goes, there's a lot of Republicans out there you just don't know about them that you don't know about." Something like that. And it was very like,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know,
It's true.
it's a lot you
It's
just don't
it's
know
so
about.
true. Yeah. Mhm.
Mango Mush said only obese, libtard white women were offended by that ad.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds
Yitzhak says
right.
Sydney goes to the range. I saw a video of her at the gun range, outdoor gun range, shooting it up.
I believe that
Um,
too. Yeah, she's all
yep,
American.
and they hate that.
Yes.
Hermit says there's no reason for you to be jealous of Sydney Sweeney. You look just as great as she does, and so does Mary for that matter. Yeah, like 30 years down the road, though.
I'm like, "Sal, I love you, but you're so nice." I don't know about that, but thank you. Or for me anyway, but thank you.
She's from Fort Lauderdale. All right, let's see, because we're almost out of time here.
Yes.
Um, I want to talk about this one. On Amy, Cynthia Erivo playing Jesus, right? Okay,
Yeah.
which of course I'm not watching this, and I don't even know it was some. What was it? Jesus Christ Superstar? Is that what it was they
Yeah,
redid?
it was Jesus Christ Superstar. Let me make sure I just want to know where let me see.
She
Yes.
played Judas, right?
So she
Oh no, she
plays
played Jesus.
yeah, she played Jesus. It was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Mhm.
And okay, so this is where I'm kind of like, okay, pick and choose your battles because some people on the right were furious and outraged that she, a woke lesbian, played Jesus. And my thing here is like, it's theater, it's art. And I grew up as a community theater kid. And I did so many productions of Godspell where Jesus was always played by a female. That's just the way it was. I mean, it was just one of those things. So I don't know. I wasn't really offended by that. And I saw there was like a big outcry, and I'm like, what? It's just the Hollywood Bowl. What do you think it's going to be? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like yeah.
I'm not offended by that. I'm offended by the double standard. You would
Wait, what do you
never
mean?
have
Yeah.
okay, well, take to play Hamilton, for instance.
Yeah.
All the characters were not played by white men, when in reality, they were white men. You would never tell the story to do a musical of Harriet Tubman with an Asian woman in the lead
Right.
because
Right.
there
Makes
would
sense.
be an uproar about it. So I, so in my
Mhm.
mind, then it's hypocrisy. It's a double standard.
Got it.
It's hypocrisy. It's okay for you to appropriate everybody else's culture, but no one can appropriate yours. And I
Right.
would love to see them do this with a play about Muhammad and
Mm,
put a woman in the role. Can you even imagine?
yeah. No,
So
no, I get it.
that's what I get offended by. I get sick and tired of being
Mm,
told, "I can't do this, I can't do that, blah, 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 because I'm white or because I'm
yeah.
Catholic or because I'm this. I can't do it, but everybody else can, and it's perfectly okay, and I have to sit back, shake my head, and tolerate it and go, 'Oh, that's great, it's art,' or whatever."
Yeah. No,
So the double
I get what you're
standard over the
saying.
years, because 'cause I'm way older than you, the double standard, I'm at the point of my life where, my bag of give a Fs is totally empty. And so I don't care about your artistic freedom or anything else because you're an effing hypocrite. Hamilton to me was such an
Yeah.
outrage because you would never, ever, ever see the life of a famous Black person, Frederick Douglass, played
Mm.
by a Hispanic man. You'd never see it, or God forbid, a white woman. Would never happen.
I mean,
But we have
I just thought of I saw I don't know how many years ago this was, but my husband and I saw a horrible production on Broadway of 1776 that was all females. It did not work. It did
I
not
re
work. I was like,
I
"This is
I
awful."
remember that because
Sorry. Yeah.
it's one of my favorite musicals of all time is
Yeah.
1776. I love it. It's always on TCM on 4th of
Yeah.
July, Memorial Day, and so I love it, and I know every single song from that whole thing, and I remember when that happened, I'm like, "Not going to see it.
Oh, it
Nope."
was
And
and I only went because I was covering it for press, and Mary, I was so angry because I think it actually was 2021, and I was so mad because they made me, like, bring a COVID test, and so I thought that if I brought my dumb COVID test, I wouldn't have to wear a mask, but they still made me wear a mask, and the actors I was interviewing, they didn't have to wear one, and I'm like, "This is so effing annoying. I already hate this," and then the production itself, I was like,
yep.
"Oh, I hate this even more." So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's where the outrage is for me. That's where I get outraged because
Yeah.
I think everybody who just smiles and puts up with like, "Oh, it's no big deal." You're all a bunch of hypocrites. Because if the
Yeah.
roles are reversed, you would be out of your minds. Not you, but I'm like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
people who tolerate would be out. "Oh my God, that's horrific. How dare you? How dare you
yeah.
take away from Black history?" They'd lose their minds. So
Right.
and she can I just say weird looking, and does she have the longest fingers I've ever seen on a human being in my entire life?
Dude,
Like,
her
they're like
nails.
stick like I know
Yeah,
she can't help it. It's what God gave her. But that girl could palm 2 basketballs in one hand. Those like the longest skinny like twigs. It was like like when that tree comes to life and it's got
yeah.
the long
Mhm.
right?
No, and at
I
the
was
Oscars this year, her nails were like they were so bad. Oh my goodness, they were
how do
so
you wipe
bad.
your
Yeah.
butt? Like, that's
Yeah,
when I
I
know,
don't
"Hey, how do you wipe
know.
like, that's
I
the first
didn't
thing
do
that goes through my
anything.
mind. You have, like, a
Mhm.
stick like fat people use, like, they get the stick and they put the toilet paper in it, and they gotta go back there, and get it. Like, is
No.
that what goes on?
I have no idea. But yeah, her nails were disturbing. I totally agree. Totally agree. Ugh.
I was watching it,
Yeah.
I just saw there was, like, a little clip and I was like, "What the hell?"
I
I would just zero in on the hands, like, "What the holy hell is going
You're
on
like
with her
the fourth
hands?"
person that said that to me. Yeah, I know.
She can't do
It's
anything
true.
about it. So, like I don't wanna make
Yeah.
fun of it because like she can't Lord, she can't do anything about it. It's what God gave her, right?
No. Yes.
But here,
Yeah.
Gregory nails it. Her profile looks like Nosferatu. It's pretty much what
Oh,
it is.
no.
Have
That's
you seen the
yeah.
old Nosferatu movie,
The
the Black
vamp
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly, and it's that is very true. That is very, very
Mm.
true. And Hermit Sal said, "Notice how they don't do anything similar concerning the Prophet Muhammad." Yep,
Yeah.
never. Never, never, never. Just Christians
Yep.
and Jews are the only ones. Now Tax says, "I think by her playing Jesus, she became Judas." Yeah.
Oh. Hmm.
Griffin Lady, hello, Wendy Bell, filling Queen, and Lauren Collin. Lots of love from Kentucky. Thank you. Mango Mush says non-issue for him. That's fine. It could be a non-issue. That's fine. And Yitzhak points out that Jesus was Jewish. This is very true. And I think he was still Jewish when he died. Like I
Yep.
think he always was Jewish, right?
Yeah,
Um, I don't think
definitely.
he converted.
Nope.
He converted
Correct.
to himself. I don't know.
Correct.
Sue says the hypocrisy is more disturbing. Yes. Um, yes. Here, Yitzhak says, have a Jewish woman play Muhammad.
Yep. That.
Thanks, Rebecca. She says, you're not old. Nancy Pelosi is old. I'm like, well, thank you. Cause she's like in her 80s, but
That's funny.
it's
Yeah.
okay. My
Right.
niece, my niece, my niece told my sister-in-law, it's okay, mom. 50 is the new 30. And then she stopped. She goes, but 30 is really old.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
Daniel weighing in
No.
over on Rumble. Thank you, Daniel. You
Mm.
will never see an Italian actor portray Frederick Douglass. No, you will
No.
not.
No, no, no. Definitely
Yeah.
not.
Her profile looks for Nosferatu. Rebecca, you ladies made me and my daughter laugh. Bless you both. John, oh my gosh, John Ilk. I know this guy. Wow. Wow. I have not seen John in ages. Thank you for joining us, John. The New York Post just posted a story about a hotel outsourcing check-in to India. Your check-in is in India. Great.
Wow.
Great. There should be a production of Frederick Douglass. He was Abe Lincoln's homeboy. Has a great writings. Yes, Brian Kilmeade has a great book on Frederick Douglass. Brian
Cool.
Kilmeade does these. I'm definitely into his. I'm a history dork. I love history.
Yeah.
And Brian Kilmeade's books that he has all these books on history, and it's like little known things about history. And he does one on Frederick Douglass and his role in the White House. He does one on George Washington and the Secret Six, which was the culprit spy ring out on Long Island. I just got finished reading Thomas Jefferson and the Tripoli Pirates, and that's how our Navy started.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I should
yeah,
read books like that. I'd be a lot smarter.
they're really interesting. They're really, really interesting. But see, you
Yeah.
knew about a lot of stuff that's going on culturally that I did not know anything about, like the kidnapping of the
Well,
Crypto
I'm
King.
not any better because I know about it, Mary. So I mean, it's not exactly dinner conversation, I guess, but
Oh
or
no, it is. Depending on your house, that is definitely dinner conversation.
well, I guess I should say I'm not really a popular mom at school. I'll just put it that way.
That's
So
okay. They're you know why? Because they're very boring and you're not.
I
I
agree. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have to
look
agree,
at this.
okay?
Bill, a great show. Have Lauren back.
Thanks, Bill.
Yitzhak, Jefferson and the Muslims. Yeah, that's what Jefferson and
Aw.
the Tripoli Pirates was all about. And the building of we have the Navy because of the Muslim pirates. That's why we have a Navy. And they were taking our men as slaves.
Yeah. I
Indeed,
did
enslaved white men. Look at that.
Yeah.
See, it all comes around.
It
It
does
all
all
goes
come
around.
around. Yeah, it's
Yes.
so true.
So I had told Lauren, and then we're gonna get going here. I want to let her go, and Lord knows I'm gonna be up forever. But I had said to her, my husband and I have gotten so sucked into very scary people with Donnie Wahlberg, right?
That's the ghost story one, right? Is that what it is?
No,
Or
no,
is it
no,
about serial
no. It's
killers
it's all
or
like no, 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 no. It's like John Wayne Gacy, and it's a two-parter, or
Oh,
Richard Ramirez, and all of these stories ripped from the hairline, and they're kind of like documentaries. And I think they're old, and they interview
yeah.
people and things like John Wayne Gacy. Like the one
Oh,
kid's mother called the police because he was having his her son. He would hire the neighborhood kids to spread lime in his basement, and the kid complained about how bad it smelled.
I know that John Wayne Gacy gives me nightmares. And actually, one of my friends, her grandpa was actually the victim that got away. he actually went to John Wayne Gacy's house for the sleepover after he was working
Yes.
at KFC. Yeah, his friend was at KFC.
Yes.
That's my friend's grandpa. He was in the Netflix. Yeah,
Oh,
crazy. Where Gacy like effed with him and said, you know, if I win this pool game, you have to like take your pants off. I don't even remember, but like sick man. I don't like that. Yeah, that is
well, they're all really sick,
I mean,
but you
all
know what's
yes,
really weird?
yes, but ugh,
Not John Wayne Gacy, but the vast majority of these things are on the West Coast. Either
yeah.
California, Oregon, Washington State. What the hell's going on out there?
Green River Killer. Yeah,
Right.
totally. No, and it's funny, we haven't really seen a serial killer in a long time. I mean, I think Brian Koberger would have been a serial killer if he didn't get caught. That's the Idaho for the college murders.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
you know, because that was really the I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen a quadruple murder of four people that just had no relationship to this guy at all. That's just straight up a serial killer. And yeah, if the Idaho State Police didn't catch him, then I think he would still be killing.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So
again, it's all on the West Coast, except for like Son of Sam was New York.
yeah.
The Night Stalker.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
who
Yeah.
was who was the guy who they never who wrote the cryptic and they never got him?
Oh, the
Um,
Zodiac. Yeah.
the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
Yep, we
San
watched
Fran. That's
that.
crazy. Yep.
And it's so easy. Like my husband now is to the point, like, stop watching it, just record it. Just stop watching it and record it. We don't have time. I'm like, okay.
Mary, you're like, this is what I relax to. This is what I go to bed to. And it's like on a dark. And so, yeah, no.
Exactly.
He stabbed him 27
Oh,
times. You're like, oh, this relaxes me. No, I totally get it.
that's the Gilgo murders was the East Coast.
Yeah,
Yes.
that too.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
That's Suffolk County, actually.
Oh, that's coming up.
Coming up,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
That's right, because that wasn't that long ago.
No. That
Yeah.
yeah, that one, I don't know if I'm gonna cover that one. It's 2 hours away, which is too far, but
You can
yeah.
come stay with me.
Aw.
You'd
So
still have to
sweet.
take the train into Penn Station and then take the train out to Suffolk on Long Island. Oh, you can stay with my sister-in-law.
I
There
feel
you
like
go.
my kids would miss me. My husband would be like, "What's going on?" But, but I so appreciate you, Mary.
Anytime.
Mhm.
Last comment, Hermit Sal says the Indispensables also described how the Navy got started during the Revolutionary War. So thank you so much, Lauren. I was so thrilled when you said you could do this because you are probably one of the like the top two most requested
Aw,
have her back. So thank
that's
you so much. It's such a nice break from politics and it's
cute.
I would say it's light and enjoyable, but we did talk about a lot of murder.
We did.
So
It's
there's
weird.
that.
It's weird that I'm
Yeah.
smiling. It's just my face. It's not the topics. It's you because I enjoy you. So, no, thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone for being so
Thank
kind.
you. Thank you, Lauren. Have a great weekend, the rest of your week, and a great weekend. And hopefully, we'll talk again soon. I look forward to your reporting. And don't forget to
Yes,
watch her podcast on YouTube, PopCrime
yes,
TV. All right. So,
yes.
and I'll put it
Thank you so
all in the
much.
description.
Thank
Absolutely. All right.
you.
Take care, honey. Bye
Appreciate
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. So remember, tomorrow I'm in for Wendy Bell Radio. You can get it on YouTube and on Rumble, and you can, of course, listen to the show on the radio if it is local to you. But you should really join us on the live stream. It's a lot of fun. I can't read the live stream and do the show at the same time, so I don't see it. I have to put it away. But thank you so much. Thank you to the Wendy Bell Radio Army for your support. I really appreciate you so much. You guys are amazing and wonderful. And all the regulars, thank you for joining me. And who's here? Everybody's saying goodbye. So just remember that I will not, yeah, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. It really helps. I appreciate that. And no more podcasts for 2 weeks because by the time I get back, then we'll have, so the next podcast is the 20, come on, where's my thing? The next podcast is the 26th. So 2 weeks of no podcast, but please go watch episodes maybe you haven't seen. Find somebody, go look and see who the guests are. Maybe you'll find one that you really want to see that you haven't seen yet. There's a lot of really great guests and a lot of fun episodes. The one with Alan West and his baby pictures was a lot of fun if you haven't seen that one. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, as I said, and God bless. Take care.